Right, let's have a look at this David Bowie hoax out again. Sal Naturel came in with a really good comment saying that that's Karen Brady with prosthetics as well. It's one big duping delight extravaganza, and I'm going to try and break it down again off the cuff. I haven't really prepared this apart from my original video on it and my recent one today. Yeah, so let's have a quick look. Right, firstly, Karen Brady wearing prosthetics. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's raise it up a bit. Yeah, 100%. Totally her. Oh man, look at that, look at that. Alright, get ready. Bang. Let's see if we can find some more images. Is she smiling there? Yeah, mouth closed. Let's find a mouth closed shot. There's a few good ones. Maybe that one's alright. Right, let's have a look at that now. Yeah, it's Karen Brady wearing prosthetics. Okay. Now I'm going to check David Bowie's voice as well from this interview. We'll listen to his voice, and we'll listen to all the mistakes he makes at the beginning of this post hoax out thing. I mean, the point I always make is this, that if you tell someone on the street that David Bowie and Robin Williams are alive and kicking, they don't laugh, they get angry at you for telling the truth. They actually get angry. It's cognitive dissonance kicks in like crazy. Their conditioning kicks in. They blindly believe whatever is broadcast. And 99% of what's been broadcast since July the 20th, 2012 has been complete, total and utter Zionist, scripted, agenda-based Masonic lies. Okay? But they don't want to face it. Okay, so let's watch this again. I'm just going to go through this as it is. She is grinning her head off, smirking, and they've messed around with the pixelation. It's just, it's weird. Anyway, here we go.
David Bowie and his influence. Let's bring in Jack Stephen. He is director.
Right, that's a big old smile there. I mean, he's supposed to have died, right? And she's all happy, happy, joy, joy, smirking. And watch.
Let's bring in Jack Stephen. He is director of...
Hey? No, this person, I looked up this person, they created this person. This is Bowie, it's got to be Bowie. Big old smirky grin, and that's exactly his style, because I'll tell you something, there's an interview with him, which I've covered before, where he's going through a lot of Kabbalah and gematria numbers with the interviewer. That he's having a sort of in-joke with him. The whole interview is one long bunch of code joke. He loves to play a joke on the public, this guy. But he makes a big old mistake here. Because, like I said in my original video, it's 2016, right? I said he messes up his accent at the beginning. And then he slips back into his old Brixton, Herne Hill accent, London accent afterwards. He really makes a mistake. Listen to how posh the accent is at the the
Fortune music.
It's actually fortress music.
Fortress music.
Yeah.
Do beg your pardon, Jack.
Portraits music, yeah. And then he slips into his old London accent, and this is where he gets really, really self-conscious, because it's the beginning. He's nervous, and he does this double take. Watch.
Fortress music, and worked as in the music industry.
Yeah, you see his mouth wobble, and his eyes. Everything about that was like. What's it again?
Do beg your pardon, Jack. Fortress music and work.
Oh, there. You see that exact spot? He's like, what have I done? I'm in my posh accent. No. Switch down. Am I going to get away with this? Right now, carry on.
In the music industry, as an exec.
Yeah. David Bowie's supposed to be his friend, and he's grinning his head off. He's supposed to have just died. Hello. And oh, by the way, cancer, there was no sign of cancer at all. It's just like that that last interview with the guy that people say is now Alex Jones, the comedian guy, he wasn't ill, and it was only about 1 month before his reported death by cancer. Nor was Bowie, because he's still alive and kicking on Fantasy Island. And we've got proof now that that is the case, because that Robin Williams film, Something Paradise, where he's on an island, it's all there, or it's all pre-advertised. And his film The Hunger, where he's made up to be an old man with prosthetics in the film, yeah, and the girl doesn't recognize him in the film when he gets old immediately in the film, because he's like some kind of vampire in this 1983 film. But it's all about the prosthetics that they're going to make with him here. Now listen to, again, the accent, and then let's listen to his accent go back to the London accent, which is what he intended in the first place.
Fortune music.
It's actually fortress music.
Fortress music.
Yes.
Do beg your pardon, Jack.
Fortress music, yeah.
Fortress music, and worked as in the music industry as an executive in the Bowie era, and also Bowie's fashion sense we're going to talk about as well. It's influenced the...
Karen Brady in prosthetics. Big time. That's her. She's playing her role. They've been down the lodge and they say, oh, let's play this joke.
The era. And Lizzie Zeta, fashion stylist. Hi.
Lizzie Zeta. There's no such person as Lizzie Zeta. I better look her up as well.
Is with.
Yeah, they made her out to be fatter and stuff. Yeah.
Welcome to you both. Apologies again,
No
Jack.
problem.
I mean...
And so, how happy was she, huh? You're supposed to have died. That's grinning her head off. He's grinning. Now listen to his accent.
But perhaps first sum up how you felt this morning when you heard this.
I was just saying earlier that I actually felt that part of me had died. I mean,
Come on. Part of me had died. Only part, because it's just a hoax.
I have to say that's how much an influence he is, I think, to me.
Is supposed to be was. He's supposed to be dead.
And to thousands and millions of people around the world, and strangely, I'm surprised. I sort of lived through John Lennon's death, Elvis's death, and sadly, this one's affected me more than any other. I mean, it's a very strange thing, because I think with him, he was probably the first complete artist, where he was involved in every single area of his career, whether it's photography, fashion, whether it was film, whether it was poetry, whether it was live work, where he was very theatrical. I mean, his vocal influence, a lot of people don't know this, came from Anthony Newley, who of course was a musical artist. So I find it very, very sad today.
People today talking about how he reinvented himself, how he went with the times, but he led the times in so many aspects through.
Well, he's reinvented himself here as well. And that's Karen Brady. Come on. If you were just to look at her straight away, you'd say, oh, that's Karen Brady with a bit of weight on. Totally. All right, let's listen to his voice again.
So something like doing the extras
Yes.
is a piece of cake for me, really.
Right, you hear that London accent there as well? I want to listen to him again.
The 70s, 80s, 90s.
He wasn't frightened.
And it was fun working with Rick, showing him pointers, maybe new ways of...
You got the tone there. That's his tone, definitely.
Of change, and so to him, every album was a
they're talking about the change. Well, you see, here's the change in his prosthetics.
different persona, and so he loved doing that.
Yeah, you do love doing that.
One point he had Ziggy Stardust, next point
Yeah, he remade himself Ziggy Stardust, and then something else and something else. Yeah, and now he's remade himself again. It's his. People follow patterns.
at Ed Insane, and he wasn't frightened of plagiarism either. I mean, he used, for example, the hunky dory photograph on the album was actually based on Marlene Dietrich, and so he wasn't frightened where he did, where he used his influence from. I mean,
approaching comedy that he hadn't really thought about before, I think. He's so depressed at being
He was hugely influential with me because I was A&R at RCA when he was sort of to the tail end of that, and I signed a band there called the Eurythmics, which I was having terrible problems with. I mean, really, yeah, well, nobody liked them at the label.
Well, there's no evidence of him existing before, about a year before that, and that was just a setup.
I mean, promotion didn't like them, press it.
Look how they're doing all this pixelation around the face, just to make things a little bit more fuzzy, just in case.
Didn't like them. I mean, nobody did. My boss didn't really like them. He kept telling me that they were weird.
Let's get that voice again.
The idea of doing a song, he said he would do the lyrics with Stephen, and I said that would be great.
And there was an artist liaison guy there called Tony McGrogan who sort of came up to my office, grabbed.
Sounds exactly the same to me.
He said, look, Bowie wants to meet up with you, bring the tapes. So I always remember this, I brought The Walk and Love is a Stranger, and I sat with him and I played them to him, and he thought they were absolutely fantastic.
All right, let's have some Karen Brady.
Decided that he was going to pair.
So look, they're doing it to her as well, because she's been made up in prosthetics. They don't want you recognising her as Karen Brady. Yeah? Now, we'll have to check her voice as well. It's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be. If you don't know who Karen Brady is, she's a Mason that is on the very popular Apprentice show with Lord Sugarman.
Things down and go for, you know, very simple looks, black trousers, white shirt, very, very simple, all the time changing. Just when you think that you had him, he'd move in a completely different direction.
Yeah, well, there you go. Just when you think you had him, he'd move in another direction. You see what I'm saying? It's all about the change and him and her prosthetics, etc.
Jack, do you think he was a happy man? You've clearly shown us that he was a funny man, or could be funny.
The times that I met him, yes. You know, I mean, you know, what was there not to be happy? I mean,
the pressure?
Well, the pressure maybe, but I mean, he was able to express himself in a way that most artists can't. One of the most beautiful wives in the world. I mean, you know, it's a sort of, you know, I mean, what do you know?
What's not to like?
What's not to like? And also, you know,
was that a wife or a husband? I can't remember.
He had such a grasp on technology.
I mean, he was definitely gay anyway, so he's a Mason, of course.
Even when he got ill, you know, I mean, I heard that he was having heart trouble and stuff.
I'd love that to happen, and I'd do the melody, but then I'd give him some jokes for future episodes of...
That's interesting. He was just talking about jokes, yeah.